Donald Trump, the war criminal, has kidnapped Maduro. And yes, Maduro, as far as I'm concerned, is not the legitimate leader of Venezuela. But currently Maduro is in New York, been taken to New York. I don't believe for a moment that the image that Donald Trump shared of Maduro in a Nike fast track suit is real. No, for fuck's sake, there's no way you're wearing that. No chance. But you see, he's now in New York, and Pam Bondi. Fucking hell, Pam Bondi. Where'd I start with that, alright? Was she one of Donny's girls? Maybe. But anyway, Pam Bondi says that Maduro's going to meet the wrath of US law. So when's Donald Trump going to meet that wrath, eh? The wrath of the US law, and as a narco-terrorist, for which is absolute bollocks. Now, as far as I'm concerned, the fact that Maduro has, is no longer the president, well, legitimate president, he hasn't been since 2018, wasn't it, or something like that? Anyway, whenever the last election was. He's been in power since like 2013, I think it was. But still, it doesn't give Trump the right to illegally invade another country, especially on false premise. It's against international law. Changing regimes or what have you by force, unless that country is a direct threat to the United States, or any country in fact, regarding whoever's making the attack, is against international law. And I'm a little bit disappointed in world leaders who, quite frankly, are just, they're lame. Just lame. And the UN, lame. Yes, they reflect on international law, but they don't make a direct reference to Trump and the methods that have been made to remove this man as the president of Venezuela. It's been an excuse all along: narco-terrorism, drug boats, which there's been no evidence of, because, you know, funny, if there was evidence there, wouldn't you lay that in front of us, make sure that we all know that, yes, they are drug boats, you know, and they are heading to the United States, it's true and all that, but no, they don't tell us any of that shit. They don't show us the evidence. No, Macron, Starmer, other world leaders have said that, reflected on international law. But then you got like Meloni in Italy. She pretty much so, that's good then, isn't it? She might as well then. She basically commended Trump. Fucking little terrorist herself she is. These people are absolutely pathetic. What's the point of a rule of law? What's the point of international law if no one abides by it? What is the point? What's the point of a constitution when nobody abides by it? Donald Trump is the criminal here. He is the fucking criminal. He's a war criminal. Trump is a war criminal. If you're going to try to replace a leader, it should be done by pressure, diplomacy. What they say, talk, not war, war, war. Now, this is, he set the precedents. That's what he's doing. He set the precedents. And other countries, including Canada, need to be a little bit wary about this, because if things turn nasty, Canada's also at risk here. And we know it's all about bloody oil. What did Trump say? Okay, we're going you're going to reorganise or something, or sort out the distribution, that's it, of the oil. Well, we know what that means. He's going to take the fucking oil. The people of Venezuela ain't going to be any better off here. You know? You ain't got to try and tell me that the monies from all this stuff is going to end up in the Venezuelans' pockets. Of course it bloody ain't. There's going to be a puppet regime that's going to end up in there. It ain't going to be legitimate. Trump is going to decide who goes in there, and that'll be somebody who is sympathetic to the United States. Not to the people of Venezuela, but to the United States. The Trump family themselves literally benefit directly from this. They've placed themselves to benefit directly. Obviously, the Russian president is saying it was I can't remember exactly what he said. Words I did write it down somewhere, but that it's illegal basically, and he should return Maduro to his position. I don't necessarily agree with that. You know, I'm quite glad that Maduro's out of there, but that's not my argument. My argument is the method and how it sets as precedents, where Donald Trump seems to think he can just attack anybody. So done. Do I want from one hand holding the phone? Yeah. That's freezing because I keep changing them over. I've got one hand there. I don't wear gloves, you see. I keep that one in my pocket, keep it warm.
Find the glove.
Do you think that'll go on my hand? You want to wear with me? No, I'm right done. You'll get cold. I love you, darling. I don't want you to get cold. No.
I just put one in my pocket.
Yeah, I'm all right, done. We're good.
I know how cold it is holding the phone.
I can't even remember where we are. Can you remember where we are?
Yeah, the same as we were yesterday.
I know that. I mean the place. The name of it. We're in France anyway. Granatang.
A town of something.
Gondola or something.
Something with J.
Yeah, talk about Gondola. He's the illegitimate president of Venezuela. Something like that. Anyway, we're in France. We're kind of heading back to our home in France, but you know, it's been a lovely morning. Very, very, very cold. Yeah, but there's all sorts of fish in this lake. A whole range, from roach through to pike and catfish, all sorts of stuff in there. Bream. A lot of fishermen on there yesterday. But it's a cool place. There's lots of like exercise things and shit like that around here, and play at the beach over there.
In the summer, though,
Sorry, this is going to be very touristy in the summer. Yeah, very.
yeah.
But you know, it's not summer, is it? We ventured out in the camper in the winter. Anyway, so while this is all going on in Venezuela, Trump is literally just going to position stuff to benefit him. Everything he's done so far is not about make America great again or shit like that. No, it isn't even MAGA. Originally, they were saying he was a peace president, and now he's the one doing the attacking.
How he's never started any war.
Kind of needs to take extra precautions, definitely, because I wouldn't rule the same. I wouldn't rule anything out actually with Trump. He don't believe in the rule of law, and he don't believe in what's going. He ain't gonna leave, you know, don't you? If he's still alive by then, he ain't going anywhere. Yeah, regarding the next 2028, he is still alive. I very much doubt it, to be honest. I don't think he's got much life left in him. There's been talk about replacing him anyway, or lining, putting the vice president in.
Is it January 28 he's out?
Yeah, 2028, yeah. They could lose power by the midterms, though. But that ain't going to make any difference to these people.
Into midterm this summer?
Yeah.
Oh, so what is it, 2028?
No, 2028 is the election done. Yeah. That's it. That's when the 2029 will be when, because the elections are like November, aren't they?
Yeah, November.
2028. Yeah. It's cold. Vote Ronald McDump Greenland. Canada, Mexico, Panama Canal next. Yes. You know. Well, actually, he's already threatened Mexico. He reckons that he spoke to Claudia Charbon, and said to her, "Would you like us to get rid of the cartels for you?" And now he's saying he's going to do it anyway. Because she says, no, she says, according to Trump, this is. And he says, yeah, we're going to do it anyway. So he's literally made that threat again. So, you know, if we don't stand up against this, he's going to do it again and again and again. And what happened back in 2014 with Crimea and fucking Russia? You know, end of the day, if you don't stand up to the bully keeps coming back for your lunch money. Every fucking time. This is just getting ridiculous. Other Western leaders who do have, as like NATO, together have a lot of power, and they do. You know, they need to stand up against these people.
Which one you got to do?
Which one of these am I going to do? I've got to try this funny. My God, I can't ever put a hand. I'll stick to them. She wants me to put my hands on these frozen handles. It's like, yeah. It's a funny walkie thing. Oh my giddy arm. Should we try it? Oh, I've got a phone holder here. Look at this. Phone holder. There we go. I'm talking to you though. Oh, look at this. Blimey. And you. Oh my God, my hands are stuck. I'm coming for you. I'm going to get. Don't you run away from me. Hey, come on. Don't you click off just yet. What the heck? Oh, crikey, those handles are cold. Blimey. Get frostbite. I'll tell you what I'm going to do when I get back to the camper. I'm going to go in the old garage and get out the hacksaw and cut my fingers off.
Why don't you try and put this on?
What, try and put that little... Why do you need that? Oh. No, because I won't be able to touch anything. No, I'm going to put that hand in that pocket. Yeah, I'll put a... Crikey, yeah, I think it's probably the coldest day, isn't it?
That is.
Again,
-3 at the moment.
we did get up very early as well.
But it's supposed to hit to about -10 here in the next couple of
Is
days.
it?
Yeah.
Blimey, but -10 I reckon here. That's cold.
Pellets on the way home.
Pellets. Yeah, get some more pellets for the old house. Well, I'll get them when I nip out again though.
Well, yeah, we've got a bag and a half.
So anyway, we'll try to read these comments. So I'll ignore people. Oh, quite, there's quite a few people there.
Read the comments.
Hey, Gingers, what are you up? Hey, Michael Donny is above the law, apparently. I know he thinks he is. He thinks he's a messiah, but he's not. He's just a fucking horrible little man. I mean, just every day I look in the obituaries. And he's still fucking alive, he is. He's still there. Yeah. Oh, cheers, buddy. Hello, Rocky. Hope you well. Yeah, how is Gingers? Oh, I think you're putting stress with all this healthcare business going on at the moment. Caroline just said hi. Gingers has been there, she has, yeah. She came and visited us, which was really kind. Came to a tree.
She's welcome back anytime.
Of course she is. Trump in your face, bitches. Oh, okay. Are you a bloke? No, I'm a woman. I'm a woman and I impregnated my missus with babies.
Well, they want to know who you are.
Are you a bloke? Or a bloke? Am I a bloke? I think I am, sorry.
Yeah,
I mean, one ugly woman, I'll tell you, with a beard.
Beard. I know his voice is a bit...
I ain't got a womanly voice anymore. My voice is buggered. I got fibromyalgia that's buggered all my vocal cords up. And obviously I talk for... I'm always talking, that don't help. I did used to have a womanly voice. I used to have a very high-pitched voice to me.
Your hands must be freezing.
Talk slowly, so I can finish. Okay. I'm talking slowly to you. Is it? Have you finished yet? Okay. Enough of the sauciness. Our presidents let all this nonsense slide. Yes, exactly. Cuba is time to liberate those people. Yeah, most definitely. But you know, just. Oh, thanks for that, Lonzo. Right? Yeah, thank you. It's cold here too, says Gingers. We ain't got no snow. Apparently we're going to be getting snow, but it's just frosty, really, really frosty. What's up? Says Grab. Hello, everybody. We're good. Hope you're well. The Fourth Convention specifically protects civilians, including those in occupied territory. It prohibits targeted attacks on non-combatants, as it's international law.
I was going round there.
If you want to go in there and come back that way, if you want, I don't know. Whatever you want to do, darling. I don't know if we'll be going as far as we did yesterday, because I don't think I have any fingers left. I think it probably would. My hand will fall off, she says. Now, Macron went on about international law. The EU, Ursula von der Leyen mentioned that international law, but welcomes the removal of Maduro. I kind of welcome that, but it's the method's wrong. It's the method. He's interfering with other people's business. You know, they weren't attacking the United States. And all this narco-terrorism luck is a load of bollocks. So,
Italy and Argentina.
yeah, the thing is, you see, Caroline, Maduro's going to face legal proceedings in the United States for crimes that he hasn't made under US law.
Oh.
Because he ain't a narco-terrorist. That's all bollocks.
Yeah, they just,
You know, for the United States it is.
they'll just make it up.
They'll just make it up. Just like they tried with Brega Garcia. You know, just make up this shit. I don't know. The United States is now the enemy. I hate to say it, but it is. It's a threat to the national order and all that. International order. Not national order, international order. It's a threat to everything, quite frankly. Hands off Greenland, Stephanie. What's going on with the Norwegian PM? I haven't checked that yet, to be honest. Oh, crikey, yeah, I should imagine they're a bit from warriors as well regarding Greenland. Wonder what their response has been. You should check that. I imagine they'll be condemning it to international law again, like most of them do. It's only the more rogue presidents like Putin and China both said, you know,
And Italy.
and Italy,
And Argentina.
you know, right-wing presidents who. And oh, yeah, Miley, Argentina as well, yeah. But he would do, wouldn't he? He's happy with his 40-odd billion that he got from the taxpayer to buy Argentinian debt. Oil-rich distraction from the files. It is. Well, it's definitely. When you think, well, there's two major suppliers of heavy crude in the world. Two biggest suppliers. One is Canada, and the other one was Venezuela. All right. Now, this is going to put questions regarding the viability now of these North Canadian pipelines. You know, with Alaska and all that. Alaska and Ontario. It's going to. There's a value in it now. Because we don't know what's going to be happening now with this crude. Now, originally it was going to places like, Russia and China. You know, but now, it's all going to be re-diverted, isn't it? Trump's pretty much said that. It's all going to be diverted now to the United States. And Trump has also said that the oil has been stolen. From, you know, and assets from the US have been stolen by Venezuela, is what he's trying to make out. What's the word to that effect? Anyway. So he's just going to use this all as an excuse just to take everything. So how are the Venezuelan people going to benefit from when you've got an economy in Venezuela that is heavily reliant on the value of oil? You know? That's why they have fucking problems before now. You know, they're all fucking plumbers. As soon as the barrel price goes down, they suffer. And the barrel price is ridiculously low now. We've got oil companies, even Shell have announced that they're going to stop drilling. You know? Because it's just not worth it. It just costs too much to actually drill the stuff and relationship to how much they get. So, Trump's. What's the point at the moment to try and bring the price of oil down when, quite frankly, it's already too cheap? Yeah? You know, it is going to go up though. Because when you get like Shell and other oil companies, when they stop drilling, all of a sudden the oil prices will go up because all we know there'll be less supply. Because that's how they control the demand, isn't it? You've got demand and supply. That way, up that way we come, haven't we? No, not that way, darling. Caroline. She's got terrible sense of directions, by the way. Caroline. Oh, you go that way and I'll go this way. Yes, we did. But then we went round there and we'll come back on this side of it. We originally come down here. God, she's the reason why I got GPS. Alright? I went to quote a job, alright? And she sent me about, how long? About an hour in the wrong direction. She had the map upside down. I'm not kidding you. The next day, the following day, I went and bought a TomTom.
I 100% think we come past that.
We. Oh.
I'm going to the beach that way. We're just going higher up.
Yeah, we are going higher, but we're going to the direction we want to go. Trees. Lots of trees, so yeah. So what do people say here? Display of power. Just a periodical display of power. Got to let the motherfuckers know. Oh, crikey. Really? If you can't read that, you're pretty much burnt. She was reading it perfectly fine, but it's upside down. Hello, Kerry. Hope you well. Caroline, do you turn my world upside down? Someone's asking. Yeah, no, we will pass that lot. We're going this way then.
Yeah, but that was.
Why are you not going the same way? I thought you were doing round walk.
That was the right way as well.
You could go that way, I suppose. I'll let you have that. What are they doing? Do you turn my world upside down, darling?
I don't know. Yeah. Did I? I probably do, don't I? On a daily basis.
Gotta be honest, the boomers pretty much did this. Did they really?
Hey?
The boomers done this, they're saying, no, it's whoever's in power at the time. It's greed what done this. You know, and it's not just boomers, we've got a lot of younger generation as well, greedy feckers. Greed. Greed and control powers. Kissing the dream, right, okay. Apex, what a load of bollocks. We have maggots here, oh no. Oh dear, we probably have. It makes it funny though, doesn't it? Because it just shows their stupidity. They can't help it. You know, it's like compensation for the little wieners. That's what it is, you know. Yeah. And lack of brains. So, there's no benefit for anyone here, apart from Donald Trump. The US ain't going to benefit from this. That's bollocks. Yeah, like, well, hi campers. It's like little chalets. That's a club, that one. I think it's a club. That's dance room song.
Huh?
There's a dance room song.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's sort of a proper, like, organised holiday with all these.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is touristy here.
On there and...
It's better when you go in the wooden bit, the wooded bit, because it's more natural.
It's just like all shut up and things.
Nice, I filled up my 1 ton truck for 2. Yeah, that one could stay at £2 for long if it even was. You're probably just making that shit up like a lot of you do. If the oil companies make no money, they shut down production. Simple as that. It's called supply and demand, thicko. You know, they shut down production, all of a sudden there ain't enough production, which means there's a lack of supply. When there's a lack of supply, the prices shoot up. It happens every single bloody time. They don't want to manage the pricing. They just want to. They just wait too long and just let it go to shit. Hit too high and don't do nothing about that. Or they'll just hit it too bloody high. Everything becomes too bloody cheap. You know, OPEC and all that. You know, they're just Shell, BP, all the bloody same. They just want to, you know, manage their profit margins. If you think you're going to stay at £2 a gallon in the US for long, you've got another thing coming. It ain't going to happen. Never does. Who invests in a business that has no money in it? Nobody. Who's going to invest in oil wells that have no money in it? Nobody. It's a load of bollocks. You just think they're your own bloody pocket, but it's very short-sighted. You see, this is where China does think. I don't get me wrong. I don't like what's going on in China, quite frankly, but you know, but that's where Xi Jinping, he has it sussed. He don't think about tomorrow. He's thinking about like past his lifetime. You know, he's thinking about China, how China can benefit. The US, it's all they're doing is they're screwing themselves because with Nvidia and also Intel and AMD, they're all literally pushing themselves out of the market by limiting our supply of semiconductors and shit. So what's China do? Oh, there's a gap in the market. We will invest heavily in semiconductors. They've now just got the K8000 CPU chips that they've just announced, which have got 4 gigahertz speeds. And so I can't remember how many cores they are, but anyway. All of a sudden, they're going to improve and improve and improve. People say, no, they're never going to catch up. They're about 20 years behind. China is on overdrive. China's bloody chips are literally just, well, they're rapidly improving all the time. And what you have to remember is it's not just the fast chips we have to worry about. It's all the little ones, you know? All the other chips that do tasks in cars, for instance. But, you know, not heavily loaded. You know, at the end of the day, why would BYD buy semiconductors from Taiwan and places like that when they can make them themselves? You know? Why would they? All you're doing is squeezing yourself out of the marketplace by being greedy. You know, Micron, there's just, there's only like 3 or 4 major memory manufacturers out there. And because of that, they've got us by the goodies. You know, Corsair don't make their own memory. I think it's made by Micron. So people are just so narrow-minded and just blinkered. They just see that on one level. They don't look at all, they don't do lateral thinking. It's just madness, absolute madness. And it's yeah, so like for instance, memory producers are now just producing memory. Micron has stopped producing for Corsair, and so they're now just supplying all the AI data centers. We don't benefit from this shit. We won't even have the computers to be able to run it, to even access this stuff. It's all going to be too blooming expensive. And I've had comments in the previous video I made about this, and people saying, oh, well, you know, well, I always built PCs anyway. I don't build them, so it doesn't matter. Where else do you think the memory's coming from? For them. You know, same with the NVIDIA and all that shit. Whether it be integrated systems or whether it be upgradable systems, it doesn't matter. They're still using the same shit, you know, whether they're soldered in or not. So it'll fall through it is. There we go, there we go. Amazing how many delusional people can be en masse. I know. People are very short-sighted. And they don't think they're the nuances. And when you look at the world markets and industry as a whole, the decisions by one government can affect the world, not just that country. I just reported you, seriously, on YouTube. I did it, says Seth. Oh, dare me. Oh, you reported me for what? I don't know what I've done wrong. I don't really care, to be honest. I've had enough fucking reports. I've been struck off enough 30 times. Not to worry. You can't reason with Seth next. They live vicariously through El Mango. El Mango. He gets it. They win as they're starving. I know, yeah. It's literal. You just think of what they've been. How much money has El Mango made with his family and all that since he gained power? How rich has his son? Like that tall, lanky geezer with the lucky legs, you know, like they hold him up, you know. Fucking much money has he made? He's worth like some stupid like 200 or 300 million now. You know, since Trump come into power. Because all this bloody TikTok shit and that, you know? They wouldn't have... Oh. It's all about Trump. It ain't about the people. He don't give a shit about you. He don't give a damn about anybody. He really doesn't. You're just a useful tool. That's all you are. You know? He said some rather dubious things recently. You know, when he's making his campaigns... You know, to win the election. You won't have to vote again, he said. He meant that. You won't have to vote again. You know, we're talking about military control here. If the Constitution has no value, if SCOTUS has no value, all right, Trump has got power through the military. And if the military are, abiding illegal orders, where does it leave the people? You're in exactly the same position as the Venezuelans under Maduro. He's a dictator. And he's got rid of all the systems, all the everything that, all the checks and balances. That's what I'm trying to say. All the checks and balances that keeps you, well, did keep you safe. But for that to have value, you have to have people in power that actually abide by the law themselves. And Trump doesn't do that. He hasn't abided by the law all his life. In fact, he doesn't believe the law applies to him. And it's always been the case, you know. It's always been the case with this man. That's why he thinks he can have power over women. That's why he thinks he can abuse women. You know? And in your heart and hearts, you MAGA lot, you know this. But you want to be the same. You want to be the same. You want to have that power over women. J.D. Vance the other day, he literally just said he wanted to control women's ability to leave their state. To control their ability to leave the state. But if you want to get your erectile dysfunction sorted out and you've got to leave state to have that done, well, then you're all right, mate. And there you are, go on about you maggots, going on about Muslims and saying, oh, crikey, they can marry their children. Well, they can marry marry children. Well, not be fun. 39 states in the US that allows child marriage. Don't you see the hypocrisy here? I can't remember what state it is. You even marry a fucking horse. I can't remember the state. I saw a documentary about that a few years back. I was like, what the fuck? He had goats and horses and shit. What's he doing with them? Fucking hell. Oh, Freddie got fingered, yeah. What with the with the elephant? That's it. Yeah. Freddie got fingered. What's his name again? Oh, something Green. Tom Green. I'm the backwards man. I'm the backwards man. Or something like that. You know how it goes. The sausage fingers. I know. I've got sausage fingers like Tom Green and the backwards man. How old does a horse have to be? Change this, people. Yeah, I can't remember this war back now. It's like, must have been 10 years ago I saw this documentary. I thought, what the fuck? You can marry your animals? So Pandora, I want to marry you. No, you can't in France. Sorry. No, he's a boy. Bear's a boy. Pandora's a girl. Oh, I draw the line. I'm marrying boy animals. Crikey. Religious ethno-state. USA will be like Iran. Yeah. Oh, okay, yes, I can do that. I can open the camper door. Look, that's all on our own will. We just found something. But the nice thing about France, you can, if you're in an old motorhome way and you want something to stop, it doesn't have to be a campsite. You can pretty much find it anywhere. You know, there's laws here regarding like right to own, liberty, frugality, and all that, you know. Since Napoleon days. It's a bit of a weak rules, but it's kind of the ideal set that the French abide by. So you can find something to park up, you can park up, but there's loads of airs anyway. So airs are basically like places you can park up. Anyway, they're legal places, but they're really geared for campers. We don't live in it. We have a house. We'll be back home, what, tomorrow, you said, didn't we? Tomorrow, we're going to be back home tomorrow. Amount of gas I've got free for the flipping heater. That's what I'm going to do, I'm going to fit a diesel heater.
Whoa. God, I got off him.
Oh, dear me. The Tom Green Show. Oh, crikey, it's not the Green Tom Show. Hello, Walter Gun. Hence the Trump coin and dump, yeah. Well, it's like all this shit, isn't it, you know? It's like, how are you going to pay for the oil then, Xi Jinping? We're going to send you the crude, because he says he's going to send crude to China as well. He says, don't worry, China, we'll still send you your crude, your heavy crude. How you can pay for it? Oh, how about Trump meme coin? You can imagine it, can't you? That's the sort of thing he'll do. Yeah, pay for it for Trump meme coin or something, straight to Trump's pocket. pushed up the value of his meme coin, even though it's fucking flatlined. Oh, they boned so many dogs and horses. We had to pass laws to stop it. Oh dear. It's good for us in the US to get extremely humbled and lose all power. I think you might have a point there. I did do a video about how I felt that the United States has to literally lose. It literally has to fail. It does. It does. It's the only way you're going to reset. You need a desperate reset. You really do. The only thing is, it worries me. Call me a little bit of a lefty if you like, but it worries me that ordinary people get hurt. And I mean, people who don't like what's going on, you know, normal people. And that worries me, because I don't want people to suffer. I want people to be able to feed their children and eat their homes. You know, I thought everyone would want that. But it's on the other hand, it's a realisation that, a bit like the French Revolution, the whole lot has to be turned on its head. And then people really can do that in many ways. Well, people, also a situation like, for instance, a failed economy, which you've pretty much got, it's going to get worse. But the people need to rise up. Unfortunately, you've got a lot of MAGAs out there. I'm just looking through the chat. We create the most powerful military the world has ever seen, and the comment section of the internet elected a swindler. Yeah, that's a very valid point. That's actually quite a scary thought. Yeah, Agenda 2030, enslave humanity. I don't know if you read the Project 2025, but also the other one, was it Eileen or something? Project Eileen or something it's called. It's all on the Heritage Foundation's website, and it's frightening. It really is literally about ethnic cleansing, really. Venezuela could do truth and reconciliation like they did in Canada. Is up to them. They do need to stand up. At the moment, they're probably, many of them are probably seeing this as a benefit because they got rid of Maduro, so they're probably happy about that. But they don't necessarily understand exactly who Trump is. You see, their media will not necessarily, well, be open and honest about it, will it, you know? The US media isn't open and honest about it. They're all scared. They're all literally falling on the knee, you know? They don't speak truth to power. Even influence, you know, people like me, but people who are much, much bigger than me. You know, part of the chorus group. Even Aaron Parnas, he's been, at least he's open and honest about it. He is a part of the chorus group, and they take that money. We don't know where their funding comes from. And these people got such a following already. They get so many bloody views, including like Midas Touch networks and that as well. I like the content in that. I like Aaron Parnas. But I do think it devalues them. And they're taking money from places that, not little bits of money, I'm talking about lots of fucking money. He did say how much it was, Aaron Parnas, so to be fair to me, at least he said. This is, you know, but it's not just him, is it? It's Brian Tyler Cohen and, oh, crikey, loads of them out there. They're all taking bloody money from people. And in some cases, so they don't talk about certain stuff, such as Gaza. Aaron Parnas has mentioned Gaza a few times, not a lot, but he has. I think he's not pro Israel, but he believes in a two-state solution in that, Aaron Parnas. But it's just, I don't know, I'm slipping inside in there. It saddens me a little that people just can't be happy with what they got. Have to keep taking more and more bloody money, you know, when they're already getting a shitload of money. I'm going to sit on this frosty seat. That's what I'm going to do. I'm sitting on the frosty seat. It's a bit of a shame. I wish I could make more money so I could give it to those in need. Yeah, that'd be nice. You know, this channel does very poorly. Like say, you know, very rarely do I get super chats and stuff like that. Don't really get enough views on the videos. I know it's me. I know. I've been doing this for quite a few years now. You see, and it's not so. as though the channel's doing particularly well, because it's not. It just seems a shame, you know, when you've got channels out there who have the same ideals, like myself, and they don't. They obviously take their YouTube money and stuff like memberships and stuff like that, but then they have to get themselves tied up with these organisations with dark money. The chorus group is literally dark money. You know, very little of the money they get coming in, you can tell where it's coming from. Hello, Chrome Dome. I hope you're well, my friend. The Cheeto Mussolini, I'm ready in. Is living up to his name. Yes, the mango Mussolini, or Cheeto Mussolini. Oh crikey, greed. It is greed. Now, I've said this before in my videos now regarding. I don't actually have a huge problem with capitalism as a system. Like, I don't have a problem with communism as a system necessarily, as long as the goals are for the people. But the problem is with all this stuff is greed involved. There's always a situation, you know, you always want more than those next door. It's just the keeping up with the Joneses, you know. Oh, he's got a new car. Oh, he's got a nice new car. I've got to get a better one. You know? It's just like, it's a power trip, isn't it? It is a power trip. Australia's wages were higher, than Canada's for years. Then we started raising wages. It helped, but housing and food is still high. What we've got to remember is it's not just on a national basis. A lot of stuff. Remember, you're importing shitload of shit. So it's prices get high because of other countries' decisions. And that's the problem with, I suppose you could say, globalisation. I understand buying stuff from abroad that you don't need to buy in your own country. But when you're buying stuff that you can grow yourself, like for instance, in the UK, we grow shitloads of carrots, all right? We grow a shitload of fucking carrots. Yeah, we're importing carrots from Romania and places like that in the UK. So it's all down to prices, but then you've got road miles. So all these people are pushing for that because they're all making more and more money. You know? There's too fewer distributors of food. And it just literally, with two food distributors, we haven't got enough. It pushes out the locals, the farmers. No wonder they get upset, you know. Hey, cheers, buddy. I didn't say that. Elbows up. Yeah, don't forget the elbows up, Canada. Yeah, they're going to fucking need it, I think, after what he's just done in Venezuela. Shit, he's going to be pushing that 51st state line again and again and again. Cheers, stop the greed for the £20. Really appreciate it, my friend. Yeah, excellent. Oh, nice one. That's a nice start to the year. So, yeah, it's just sad, isn't it? It's just sad that this is what it's all come to. I'm a believer of producing more and more ourselves, growing more ourselves. If you've got the ability to do it, if you've got a little bit of space to do it, vertical growing even, grow a bit, reduce the amount that you need to buy, and then that reduces the amount of imports. I think we need to take more control of our own destiny, so to speak. We grow a shitload, and we do a lot of preserves, and we live off the land quite a bit. And also we've got solar panels and solar hot water, and it keeps the costs low. And whatever we save is, a penny saved is a penny earned, what you're saying, So whatever we save is less that we have to buy from somewhere. You can't necessarily do it 100%. But you can make it a little bit harder for them to take full control of us. And also, if there's a situation, at least you've got something. When I look at my kids' food cupboards and stuff in the UK, and how they're very reliant on buying their food as they go along, maybe because of money or whatever, or lack of storage, or even understanding the situation. No matter how many times I tell them, I think they get sick of hearing about it. And it's when I see all this, I think to myself, crikey, how you manage if all of a sudden you can't get this? And the usual response I get is, well, we'll buy that one instead. But everyone will be doing that, and there'll be a shortage on that. It'll be a chain reaction because of necessity. But have you done it again? And eyes wide open. Thanks, buddy. So is he playing Robin Hood or Friar Tuck? You talking about me? I have to make some mead then. Friar Tuck, I'll make the mead. I'll get my honey and ferment my honey and make some mead. Deep pockets turn shallow. You think about Robin Hood, though, it's like his grave is actually in the woods, but it's like 60 miles from where he was camped out, which I don't understand. It's a bit odd. It's not only sad, but it's crazy. We need some honesty. We don't. We need to be honest with ourselves and actually see what the situation is and think, what do we need to do? What do we need to act on to improve things? How can we protect ourselves from this? More and more people are doing that. More and more people are looking at independence and not necessarily cut themselves fully from stuff, but to reduce their dependency on others and on the system. Because the system is geared against us. And it's been built to work against us. It's been built to extract monies from us. It really has. Oh, my dear wife, she's brought me a coffee out here. Oh, sweetie.
Nothing stirred it properly on the top.
Oh, don't matter. I'll have chewy bits of chocolatey bits on the top there. We done a mocha. Cool. Thank you. If I warm my hands up. It's getting a bit warmer now, darling. I'm in the sun. The sun's coming up. There you go. This is a granatong. It's a big pond. Or tongue, it's like a mass of water. Oh, thanks, Chomsky. It just keeps it full, but I'll try my best. I'm not perfect. I know. Not everybody understands what I'm saying half the time. Let me come. Have I heard of Charlie Angus? Of course I have. He was a parliamentary member. He's now on Midas, Canada, and he's a great guy. I like Charlie Angus. He's one of the good fellas. Not as in the movie. Yeah, I do watch him some. I don't watch all his videos, but I do. He's very pro, obviously pro Canada because he's Canadian, but he's that independence, what have you, for Canada and the threat of the USA. The only thing I don't particularly like is he doesn't reflect enough on the fact that not all US Americans are like this, you know? And I'd like to point that out, that a lot of people in the US don't believe in what's going on. They're not happy about what's happening and have been happening towards Canada. And they are actually your allies. You've got to be careful not to attack them as well. You know, they are allies of Canada. So there's only thing I'm not keen about Charlie Angus. He goes about Americans too much. And I think, yeah, maybe MAGA instead. And those who follow it, you know, anyone who sort of agrees what's going on or don't do anything about it. It's really important that we err on the side of decency. A viable third party. Well, yeah, these two-party systems. We've got the same problem in the UK. Two-party bloody systems. You need some balance in government to air all views. They tell them votes don't matter, then try to rig it. Yeah, or change the voting rules. They've literally just done that, yeah. I see one LeBaron Freddy. Thanks, Dr. Grade. LeBaron. Yeah, dear, that's funny. They tell them votes don't matter and they try to rig it, yeah. It's what we're supposed to do. What are we supposed to do? All we do is rise up against it. I'm at that point now where I feel that a revolution's needed, you know, and it can be done in many ways. Canada's got their own revolution at the moment regarding how they're doing their boycotts now of the United States, you know, products. That is a form of revolution, you know. A revolution is just, I suppose, it's just moving away from the norms, doing something different in many ways. Don't have to all be fit. Don't have to be like the French Revolution, start chopping people's heads off. Although that might be interesting. keep boycotting and protesting, definitely, yeah. No, I get the protests. I understand the peaceful protests because you don't want to rile them up and martial law and all that, I suppose. But I don't know, sometimes you just got to take the bull by the horns, haven't you? I'm a bit of a believer of clandestine protesting, where you make it quite clear what you're doing, but you don't actually let them see you do it, if you know what I mean. Oh, yeah, good point, actually. Yeah, in South Korea, they protested and stormed the building. Yeah, take the bull by the balls. By the balls, not the horns, or the balls. There's more like it. It's kind of what's needed, isn't it? I can't... All this softy approach is... No, all those Republicans out there, they need to be not attacked, but they need to be put under pressure, and not just at Parliament, but at their homes. Make their lives living hell. You know, make it very difficult for them. And let's be honest, they're not particularly nice people anyway, are they? Knowing stuff doesn't take a suit. Oh, of course, yeah, I get your point. Yeah. A bit like me. I've got a suit, but do I wear it? No, only at weddings. I look like the mafia in my suit. My suit's linen. It's really cool. Some people in suits have no morals. You know what? You can say, garden. Vladimir Zelensky, for instance, not wearing a suit. I found it quite funny when he did finally wear a sort of a suit, and he got criticised by Marjorie Taylor Greene's husband the first time when he said, "Where's your suit?" And when it come down to it the second time, he says, "Yeah, it looks like you're wearing the same suit as you wore last time," to Marjorie Taylor Greene's husband. Boyfriend. I think they get married, don't they? I think they get married now. Quebec threatened to leave Canada. No, they didn't leave. They especially won't now. Quebec needs the rest of Canada now because obviously there's a threat of the United States. There was talk, wasn't there, about being a part of the US. That's never going to happen. Stupid. These MAGA Mabel, they're fools. They are beyond evil, says Chrome. I'm saying they are. No, but they won't leave. Canada's not going to break up. It's not going to break up. If anything, it's become more solid. There's more solidarity in Canada since Trump has been attacking Canada, and it's quite frankly, I find it's Canada's actually benefited from Trump in many ways, because for too long Canada's been too reliant on the US regarding trade. So it makes a lot of sense, cut the ties. Instead of having all your eggs in one basket, find some more baskets to put the eggs in. Such as the EU and various other places. It just makes perfect sense to me. If you're somebody, for instance, if you live off the land, you're always thinking about ways. What if this? If I can't grow this crop, it fails. What is going to replace it? It's a bit like that. You know what I mean? You're kind of always thinking about backup. Same with your power. You always think about backup. I don't think we have to necessarily think about cutting ourselves off completely. I think we just need to reduce our demand on the system. I think we need to do a bit more for ourselves. Because it's easy to just take the power, take the gas, take this, take that, take the food, and just hand some money over for it. It had been very easy for a long period of time, and then they're becoming too expensive to do so. But it kind of reminds me how things used to be in many ways. I remember bringing up my children and even going back to our last two kids, which are in, their late 20s, early 30s now. And I can remember buying jumpers and stuff like that. We didn't have as much in the way of a lot of these Chinese and Indian imports as much as we have now. And the prices of stuff, for quality stuff, was expensive. Really expensive back then, you know, it took 30 odd years ago. And it's like buying a little kiddie's jump and it's going to cost like 30 quid or something stupid, you know. Kids' shoes, 50 quid back then. And the same price as now, if not a little bit less. Because everything's coming from blinking China and India, places like that, you know. But because of that, we used to amend more. Instead of just chucking stuff away, we would we'd fix things, or we would make stuff ourselves. And I'm talking kind of, you know, at the only 30 odd years ago, you know. If you didn't have enough money to buy this stuff, you end up having to find, you know, do what you do to get it, didn't you? But for a while now, for the last couple of decades at least, it's been very, very easy. When our kids start getting older and that, clothes become a lot cheaper. Like not elected in the USA, they had leaders, MLK, or head of the unions, the labour boards. Well, a lot of these unions have been broken up, aren't they? Trump. And it's like, for instance, you got like the unions in the UK, rail networks, and what have you know. The unions have got a lot of power. They need to, got to protect people. At the end of the day, these governments are supposed to be looking after us, not them, us. You know, the people elected them in to look after us. That's what democracy is supposed to be about. It's about protecting the people and having a system that works for the people, not for them, not so they can be lobbied and be handed large, copious amounts of cash. It's not so people like Donald Trump can have someone buy a shitload of meme coin or some form of donation. You know? He's already got towards his next election, he reckons he's already got 300 million in this pack, you know? And now you've got Elon Musk now saying he's going to give them, for the midterms, 100 million. You know, because he's worried that if, for instance, the Democrats come in, there's going to be a hell of a lot of law cases coming up. And he's going to find himself with Doge and what have you. He's going to find himself in front of the courts. You know, is Elon Musk. Of course he wants to blink the world's, you know, even though his businesses have been pretty much screwed because of his Doge and his behaviour in the US government, and now his car industry, which is a big bubble. It's only what 2% or 3% of the electric car market in the world, and yet it has the highest value in the stocks, which makes no sense. There's a bubble, you know. It's like a lot of this stuff artificially held high in the stock market. Rigged. Yeah, I see you put it in bold. Uppercase there. Yes, rigged. Everything's fucking rigged, it seems. It's rigged to benefit them and not us. Do you like electric cats? Electric cats? What? Or do you mean cars? I would like an electric car, but they make no sense to me. I would not want a car, if you talk about cars, not cats, I would not want a car with a stupid fucking screen and no buttons. I want knobs, all right? I want to push buttons and twist... No, not twist knobs. Anyway, I want something physical. I don't want a bloody touch screen. When you get cars with touch screens, you know, within a couple of years, all out of date, aren't they? It's all like shit. What's the point? I drive around in an old X-Trail, which has a built-in GPS, which is absolutely pointless because it's out of date and you can't update it. So it's pointless. I don't want anything like that. If I had an electric car, I just want to know how much power is in it, what range is, and that's about it. You know, and the usual knobs and buttons you'd get in an ordinary vehicle. I have an electric car that was made by cats. What? Gen Z hates boomers. It may happen, mate. Well, it might do. Not everyone benefited from boomer that period of time anyway. I'd be honest, we didn't. Electric cars are shit. Drive like shit. No enjoyable. Or at all to drive. I suppose I'm not that worried about that. I'm more worried about getting to A to B. And as somebody's already doing the old eco thing, I'd put load more solar panels in and, shit, and wind turbines and make sure I'm getting free transport. The only thing I would say is in the UK, they're now adding a cost per mile to your taxation for electric cars, which seems a bit counterproductive. When you rock your mafia suit, Dapper Dan, and pink knickers under the suit, yeah, that'd be me. Sorry, it's just bed under the suit, like all smart lads and a tubby businessman. Yeah, that's me. Oh dear. Yeah, they can brick it. Now, I don't know if you remember Stop the Greed. There's this Russian geezer, right, who bought 2 or 3 of these. Not really, but he was gifted. He was gifted a couple of these feckin' Cybertrucks by Elon Musk, right? It got out to the public, right? Elon Musk, but he denied it, all right? Then he bricked this Russian geezer who put these big machine guns on the back, then bricked these cars. And that was just basically stop them from operating. They need to be able to connect. If they can't connect, they'll shut. They can be shut down. It'd be funny if you're in a point of, I don't know, let's say for instance you got war and shit. Well, what happens if, for instance, the car manufacturer can just say, okay, we're going to turn your cars off? Now Porsche literally just did it. I can't remember how many was there. Shitloads of Porsches in Russia have been bricked by Porsche. Now look up. I can't remember exactly how many. There's quite a few though. I can't remember 100,000 of them or whatever it is. A hell of a lot of them anyway. Do you have a Jaguar? No, I used to have Jags. Sorry. I've had several Jags. I had an XJS. I had the supercharged one. That was not XJS, XJR. I've had the one that's based on the Mondeo, which is basically the S-Type. I've had XJ40s. They were quite old ones, you know. I just loved them. I just loved the old Jags. The old XJ40s, they had a bit of problem with rust on top of the wings. But I just love playing with them. They're just such interesting cars, especially the older Jags. I'd have loved the Mark II is what I would have loved to get hold of, you know. But yeah, none of my cars are new. The supercharged one though, crikey, that was ridiculous. That was so fucking quick. But the fuel economy, this was a long while ago now, but the fuel economy was horrendous. The most practical one was the S-Type. That was I just had a silver S-Type, and that was brilliant until I pressure washed the engine. Ever since then, we could never find out what was wrong with it. That's something to do with the high tension, because it had that high tension coil on every single spark plug. And they keep giving different warnings up on the computer every time, so it's a bit of annoyance. Take the bus and learn something about humanity. It depends where you are. You see, we live very rural, and the buses are not that practical for us at all, where we live in France. If you lived in the city and stuff like that, you know, or in rural areas, suburbs, it makes a shitload of sense. But where we live, you need a car. You need a way of getting about, because if you do need to get stuff, you need a car. You're not going to push bike there too far. I live in rural France, so it's out in the sticks. I can't imagine not having some form of vehicle, electric vehicle. Yeah, even an electric bike would be alright, to be honest. You could make do. But yeah, the bus system. It's cheap. Don't be wrong. It's like €2. No matter how many stops. If you get on the bus, you can stay on it for €2. On the system around us, so you go all the way to Limoges and back, whatever, all for €2. It's cheap, right? Really, really cheap. But it takes forever because the routes are long. You know, it's not like, yeah, it's just ridiculous. It's not so, but it goes rural. It's just painful to have it, you know, if you need it. We do have a rail network in France, which is very good, but you still got to get to it, the stations, which you either need to get a car to get there or the bus, which takes absolutely forever to get there. So it just makes your journeys too long. So a car is a very important for those living rural or some form of transport. Electric cars are ugly. I have to admit Teslas are ugly. I can't understand. It doesn't have a mouth. What's the point of that? Anyway, I hate Teslas. Do you want French rugby players drunk, tough, and wild? I'll tell you, the French are fucking tougher than people who try and give them credit for. I tell you, they don't put up with any bloody shit. I tell you, they're fucking hell. From their boundaries to farming, it's just they won't put up with any shit. The French are tough fuckers. They really are. I know people going about the war and that, but they just weren't kitted out for it. In Germany at the time was preparing for this for a very long time. Even the Heinkel bombers, they were passenger planes. He knew exactly what he was planning. He just ripped the seats out all of a sudden. You know, it was the bombers. Way cheaper than the UK for a bus. Yeah, it's just how long it takes, though. It is cheap. The buses are cheap here. Transport's cheap. If you want to go anywhere, like for instance, visit anywhere, and there's, I don't know, you want to go to a castle or chateau, or whatever, and you want to visit and look around and stuff, museums, all that sort of stuff, it's cheap. It is. Anything for the people is cheap. It seems that anything's provided by the government. I don't think the French fully appreciate the value that's been given to them by the system or by the government, the current government has done actually a lot for the people, but they don't want to accept it. They don't want to accept that something's been done for them by this government because they just don't like Macron. We've had things like, argument's sake, like your housing taxes and stuff like that, right? Habitation tax. We used to have a thing called habitation taxes. They got rid of it. We don't have to pay for anything. Like, for instance, if our house is there, we'll just have to pay for the land it sits on. So we have what we call our tax foncier, and we have to pay for our bins and stuff like that, but we don't actually have any house taxes anymore. It's gone. Macron did that. He promised to do it, and he did it. There's loads of stuff. He's simplified the taxation system. He's simplified a lot of the paperwork, because France was notorious for their paperwork. And he has simplified a lot of it. It's still laborious, but it's a lot better than it used to be. Oh, quite giddy out they, yes. We came, not yesterday, but the day before, we came by a big burnt pile of rubbish. And you all sitting on top of it. I wanted to take a picture, but there was a lot of traffic, so I couldn't really stop. But there was a fucking burnt out speed camera sat on the top of it. Oh, fucking hell. It was like the Guy Fawkes. I was quite impressed. Hello, Billy, hope you're well. Well, that's cool. Cherry, Cheryl, that's cool. So if in different parts of Canada, you have a hop on and hop off bus for tourists, and it's free. That's pretty cool. That's what we need more of. A lot of things were free here, train networks and stuff. They did a lot of free passes and that during the COVID thing. Try to get people moving again. French rugby don't stand. Many places around the world are looking in what's going on in the United States with despair. Oh, there's little Robin. There's little Robin on top of on top of the post. It's nice here. Yeah. Bonjour. You become. Vaseline on the speed cameras. That has got conjunctivitis. Chrome Dome, the problem? Why is Chrome Dome the problem? I very much doubt it. Anyway, in the US, there are way too many people driving that should not be driving. That is very true. The same in the UK, the same here in France. There should be stricter regulations on who can drive. I'm a victim of a hit and run. I know. Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. And I don't trust drivers at all. I tell you what, one of the problems I see here is people on their devices. Even though the rules and the laws and the fines are huge. They're crazy fines. They're like 10 grand, you know, if you're caught with using a mobile phone. But people still do it because they don't think they're going to get caught. I don't think Chrome. I think you don't understand Chrome Dome's position there. Say he's part of the problem. Part of the problem is we do excessively use our vehicles for journeys that are not necessary, and that's fact. You know, we've got these things on the end of our butts called legs, and they've got these little things on the end called feet, and they're made for moving. You know, for walking. You know, and it's nice to walk. It's nice to get out. You know, it's not for not everyone has that. You know, a Chrome Dome doesn't necessarily. You know, you can't get out. So I understand that. Yeah, but he's right. A lot of people out there shouldn't be driving. There's a lot of very. In France, it's not so much of a problem in some ways because the roads aren't so busy. You know, our roads are pretty clear most of the time. You know, you don't get the congestion. So if you got the odd divvy driver and what have you out there, it isn't a huge problem. But then you got places like in the UK where the roads are pretty horrendous. Yeah, some people should be on the road. I agree. I don't like the level of control. A lot of this is just down to people not being civil, though. A lot of people are arrogant. I find this even, you know, when we've been in the camper, right? Obviously, a camper is not going to be as quick as a car. Right, it clearly is. You know, driving that bloody thing around all the time, it's not going to be particularly good, is it? You know, so sometimes people get agitated behind you, behind you, but then they make stupid moves. Now, I generally, if I've got a lot of people behind, if I think I've got a lot of people behind me, I'll pull over a little bit and let people come past, if it's safe to do so. But 9 times out of 10, I'm keeping up with the speed limits anyway. These people who overtake me want to, they're just breaking speed limits, you know? And the speed limit's there for a reason. And yesterday morning, we were driving past Bordeaux and what have you. And someone tried to overtake us. Oh, well, they did overtake us, and then they overtook somebody else, 2 cars in a row, on a bend. And they hit a car on the opposite direction. Well, that'd be funny. That could have took out all of us because someone just being arrogant, because somebody's just impatient. I'm not a particularly fast driver anyway. I've calmed down a lot, right, over the years. I've sort of realised what's the fucking point. All right, what is the fucking point? Rushing around like a blue ass fire, making yourself all stressed and what, hey, over shit that doesn't need to be stressed about. I'm a much easier person now than I used to be. When I was in the UK, I was horrendous. You know, I was very stressy. It ran businesses and stuff like that, you know, everything was a stress. These days, I just say, well, sod it. I don't care anymore. If I'm a bit late, I'm a bit late. I don't care. It's tough. All right. And I'd rather get there safe, and those with me safe, and those around me safe, including other drivers. I'd rather do that. Is it a little bit, I don't know, yeah, a bit of a lefty and all that shit. No, so what? I don't care anymore. You know, am I lefty? I ain't got a problem with capitalism and that. You know, lefties, you know, people in hard would say more about socialism. And I'd like to see a hybrid of the whole fucking lot. I would. I'd like to see everyone just getting on and being able to benefit everybody else and thinking about others. You know, your actions, how they affect other people. You know, it's just, to me, it feels obvious to be a little bit more. I didn't used to be like that. I used to be a little bit of an arse in some ways, you know. I've calmed down a lot. But that's down to circumstances. So, I could argue in some ways, I suppose, that if some people are a little bit like that, a little bit argumentative, a little bit arrogant about stuff because they're just trying to get on with stuff, get things done, they're getting frustrated. I understand how this happens. I think we need to push back at things that are effectively disturbing your chi, and have a bit of a calmer life. And realise what's really important. After this shit that we fucking, that's my French, but stress about, why are we stressing about it? Does it really matter? Is it putting food on the table? Is it keeping the roof over your head? Well, not if you've ended up in bloody hospital, is it? So what's the point? What is the point? Do you know what? It's really nice just sitting out here. Just sitting out here, watching the sun come up, the lake and that. It's just peaceful. That's the point, you see. It's peaceful. It's tranquil. The occasional person come past walking their dogs, just like we were earlier. It's just, I don't know. I think we've got to a point. I think people are starting to realise that there's more to life. And including youngsters, this generation, they're realising it. And a lot of them are saying, they use the phrase, I don't want to work. And I don't mean they don't want to work. What it means, they don't want to work for the system. They want to be a part of, they want to be in control of their own destiny. I get that. More and more people are living in their vans. They're living a different kind of life, a life that isn't dependent on stuff that is provided. It's more dependent on what you can do for yourself. So you're sort of semi-part of the system, but not fully. You're still using the roads and stuff and the fuel and what, if you're moving about. But in the US, for instance, there's more and more people turning to van life, but the US government wants to try and restrict it, and some states are starting to restrict it because they want control of you. Places like here, though, is a lot easier. If you want to have a van life here, we've come across quite a few people on our little 2 or 3 weeks here, in the camper, who have, taken to a van life. It's obvious when you see their vehicles, but they're living in them. Some of them are quite big, some of them aren't. Some are ex-military. Some are just little small vans, and people just simplifying their lives. If there's ways of doing it. Let's say, for instance, I'm going to say a YouTube channel. Let's say if it was me, all right? And I'd make a little tiny bit of money on here, and very kindly, Stop the Greed Nets is giving us some super chats there, which is really kind. And, if a little bit of money coming in, just enough to pay our way, I could manage in a vehicle quite happily. I could sit here all day, It's the little disabled fishing platform there. It's maybe I'll take up a bit of fishing, and eat the proceeds. This particular lake here, they've got all sorts in there. We've got a list of the fish up there. We've got in there from pike through to bream and stuff like that. You wouldn't eat; it'd be a bit muddy, and roach, all bottom feeders. But there's a lot of predators in there as well that you can eat. Even pike, you can eat pike. There's pike, there's perch, you can eat perch. So if you want to, you could fish for your dinner. What about that chrome dome? I don't agree with what you had to say at all, mate. You're definitely not part of the problem. I think sometimes it's the case that people don't understand your situation. They don't know your situation. People make comments on stuff and people when they don't really know their situation. And it's like, the other day I had a few comments by somebody who I know who it is. And they often do this. They come on different names, what have you, but they say the same stuff. And usually say, see you grifting again. I'm like, grifting? I think anyone who's doing the YouTube channel is grifting to some degree. I'm not grifting. I like to talk about shit, But he seems to think that the only reason why I do this is just to earn money, and it's not. If I didn't do this, my head would explode. It really would, because so much stuff out there's going on. I just feel I need to talk about it. And stuff I believe in, some stuff I really passionately believe in. And I find it interesting as well. So it's just, no, it's not about the grift, but it's just somebody who doesn't actually understand my situation and who I am. They're just arrogant because I keep blocking them. They don't like it. So they come on a different blooming username. Yeah, Chrome Down did tell me about his situation. I didn't know at first, and he sent me a little thing, and I was just thinking, no, it's so tough. I've got another person who follows my channel who hasn't left their bed for years. And he sent me an email, almost made me cry, you know. And he said, "I look forward to your content every day." Da, 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 da. And it's and also the fact that we're doing like walk videos and stuff as well, because he says it brings a bit of the outside in. And I've cried. You don't realise that when you make these videos that there's people out there that could potentially be, they're finding how to put, oh, Lee Robin's back. Oh, hello. Oh, he's right there. Look. Oh, he's gone back on his post again. He's hoping for something. I wish I had some crumbs. He went on the post. He went literally just there. Then he went on that twig. Then he sat on the side of this tree here, and he's gone back on his post. Oh, he's going over there now. No, I love wildlife. I absolutely love wildlife. I'm a bit of a earthy me. The thing, I think we often realise that everyone's life is a little bit different, isn't it, you know? And our needs are different. What we get out of life is different. You know, I used to be a bit kind of like, I enjoyed all the stuff that was provided, and now more so I like to provide my own stuff. And it's got so much to give. They don't realise if they weren't insufferable black holes of demons and lame, it could be them too. That is a really valid point. People will make criticisms of others and say stupid things like you're part of the problem when they don't actually know you and they don't know your situation and what life has thrown at you, you know? No, I for one, you know, me and my dear missus, we've never been sort of... it's peaceful there, Ginger's, you're right. Our situation is, I met... I'll give you an idea how we got where we are. No, when I was quite young, very young in fact, I met my dear missus, Caroline, and we've been together ever since. 36 odd years ago. And she had 4 children from a previous marriage. He was a violent man. He's beat her about. And we got, and then we got married, and we had a couple of kids ourselves, and everything has always been a bit of a struggle, you know. I had to work to pay bills and, feed 6 kids, bring up 6 children. It's not easy. Of course, it isn't bloody easy. I was fortunate that they all respected me, and we had a good time as a family. That was nice. We've gone a lot of holidays, a lot of walking holidays, camping holidays and stuff. You used to do a lot of natural shit, And I used to make a lot of stuff. So I used to make aeroplanes. I still do fly aeroplanes and stuff. And, fly airplanes, kites, all that sort of stuff with the kids, and they used to love it, and they're doing it with their kids, which obviously I really respect. So it's just nice, although we had a fairly cheap life in many ways. It's expensive in the fact that we've obviously got a large family, but cheap life in that we haven't really had abundance of money. And okay, I've had Jags and stuff like that, but my company paid for them. We did building and maintenance, what have you. Did a lot of council work, so there wasn't huge profit margins. It was just, but we did all right. And then 2008, the housing crash hit. The banking crash, and everything went to shit. And then we came here. So we sold up, paid all our debts, and come here for very little. Bought a wreck of a house with a couple of hectares of land, and sort of renovated it with very, very little. We had 10 grand left to renovate the house, so I had to work, obviously, because I've got to live as well, So I started doing carpentry work in the sense I used to make windows and doors in the workshop. And a lot of our customers were English, not by choice, just how it was. And and then Brexit happened, so I lost my market effectively. So, yeah, and also it really depressed me in many ways as well. We got really stressed, so we didn't know what's going to happen to us, regarding Brexit. We just invested our life into this, into our home, and then Brexit happened. We didn't know whether or not we even better stay. Nothing was clear. Oh, thanks, Gingers. You did a great job around the house. It's amazing. Still got a lot to do. Bacon crash. Oh, bacon crash. Oh, crikey. I wish some bacon would crash on me right now. You've been there and done. I've done all sorts of shit. I'll tell you what though. Throughout my life, I've always done stuff myself. I've always worked on the cars myself, with vehicles and stuff. I've always done it myself. Always built stuff myself. And that's how you learn, isn't it? Always done the plumbing, done the I trained as an electrician, so that wasn't difficult. I trained as an electrician. I trained as a builder, MVQ3, 17th edition electrician, and carpentry and joinery. Over the years, I've been in and out of college. So I even got my board in C++ programming. And I did business studies as well. Only O-level grades, that's a long while ago. It means that Canada and Russia share the same type of ecosystem. Oh, we are the same part of the hemisphere, I suppose. The thing about Russia, though, is you think about... Russia is in Europe, right? But it's also in Asia, right? They effectively took a big chunk of China, and China wants it back. Russia's not safe. What they've got a relationship going on, they'll be safe. But as soon as China decides that we're not happy about this, China will do what they need to do to get their land back. Just like Taiwan. Birds from Russia showing up in Canada. Well, like I said, it's part of the same ecosystem. Oh, can I get the robins back? He's getting closer. Hello, you. Oh, cool. Oh, I do love nature. That's so cool. I was dumped by a Russian bird. Oh, dear. Thanks for that, Stop the Greed. Birders flock to Vancouver Beach to see rare bird native to Russia until now. Oh, well, they haven't done it until now. The tiger flycatcher hadn't been recorded in Canada. Right, that's interesting. Everything's changing though, isn't it? At the moment, they're saying a lot of, where was it now? Load of orcas, whales and what have you, near the Arctic, they're the ice shelves, and they're worried about them. At risk. It's a lovely morning in the CB, I must say. But yeah, I got a bigger one. This is crazy. I do like hats. Anyone knows me knows I've got a shitload of hats. Hats and glasses. Marks today, I look at life and with scepticism. I never used to be that way. I always loved people in general. Not now, so I understand that. I think it could be some of the reason for that. that a lot of people were more shy about displaying their real self. Because what I see, a lot of people come out from underneath their stones. They've been given the platform from people like Trump and Boris Johnson in the UK and Nigel Farage, all these sort of people. They've all been given a platform just to be nasty, really. You know, it's brought out the worst in people. It's quite a shame, really, isn't it? You know, it's such a shame. It worries the hell out of me. It's one of the reasons why I do this channel, you know. I've got my other channel, the woodworking channel, on that as well, and my greenie channel. But it's just, I always get drawn to this one because it feels important in many ways. Even though I don't get that many views, you know, it just feels like it needs to be, things need to be said. Those on the right always seem to have the loudest voices. Arrogant voices. They're always the ones trying to shout down people on the left, it seems. Then you get to the far left and you have the opposite view. It's just, I don't know. I've always said those on the right, on the hard right and hard left, eventually they shake hands, you know. I just feel that things should be simpler. And the only way we're going to get that is if we take more control of our own lives. Do more stuff for ourselves and look after people, you know, who might not be able to look after themselves, you know. Like for us, one of our good friends, like such as Violette, for instance, she's French and she's on the right, all right. Oh, so is she on the right or is she more lefty? I don't know, really. She has some strange views. She's an anti-vax or anti-this, hate the government, all that sort of stuff, without really understanding how it all works. But she's a good person. She's also a kind person. She just gets frustrated about stuff that really she has no control of. It makes herself wonder, you know, why does she do it? Why does she worry like this? And she's anti-trans and stuff like that, which she just doesn't understand. She doesn't get it. But she follows all the wrong people. She got herself in like a bit of a dark net situation. She wonders why she's constantly come to see me to sort out her computer because she's always gone on the wrong bloody places. That should really be a red flag for her, really, that she goes on these sites, that screwing up her devices. There's a reason for that, you know. But she'll do it for you. And, like, for instance, she's a bit of lady of the earth and all that, and she knows about foraging and stuff like that. She knows about mushrooms and what ones to pick, what ones not to pick, and she's clever in many ways, but foolish in others. And we rub each other up the wrong way, but we also look after each other. So you know, we have different views. I think sometimes we come to understanding that sometimes it's best not to talk or say anything. It's quite difficult sometimes. But that's just how it is, isn't it? So families break up, and you know. But if we have excess food and stuff, we always send to her because she always does our preserves and stuff. Because we grow a lot, and she does a lot of she grows so much these days because she's not so able as she used to be. She's getting on a bit. She's in her 70s, you know, so she has her problems. I 100% agree. Chrome Dome makes sense. Gardener's friend Robbins used to sit on wild boar and eat insects they dug up looking for truffles. Now they wait for gardening tools to do the job. Yeah, if I'm in the garden, I'm doing a bit of handwork in the garden, digging and that. You can get the old robins turn up, or you have birds as well, pecking around where you disturb the soil, and they get right up to you. You know, they don't. Yeah, if you suddenly move or suddenly do something, they'll flitter out of the way, but they come back again, just like this little robin here. You know, bouncing about. I do love. Honestly, I really love all this shit. I just love nature. Carol's probably thinking, was he still sitting out here? In the cold. It's actually warming up now, to be fair. The sun's getting a little bit higher. You know, the frost has gone, the mist has gone over the water. Yeah, that's quite nice. I need to keep it out. The older I get, I've been watching cartoons like Recess or Simpsons. Other things when USA wasn't batshit crazy. Yeah, to keep the sanity. The thing is, you see, talking about things like cartoons and films and videos, let's say, for instance, everything goes tits up. Let's say, for instance, we lose access to media because we've been doing everything online. That sounds blinding me. Because we're doing everything online. Podcast, streaming and stuff. Wouldn't it make a lot of sense if we made sure that we have enough physical media? That we've got the, videos and CDs, vinyl, you name it. I do a lot of vinyl myself. We've got music, but wouldn't it make a lot of sense? Because if shit hits the fan, and let's say, for instance, we do end up in a war situation, the internet's going to be one of the first things to go. China and Russia will cut us all off. Well, they'll be cutting cables left, right, and bloody centre. China's now putting up satellites that can destroy satellites. Same as Russia. Starlink, as far as China's concerned, is a national threat. As far as that's what they've literally just said the other day. They see Starlink as a threat. And quite frankly, we should do anyway, since Starlink is in these bloody drones of Russia's drones. So, yeah, Elon Musk is helping Russia with the war against Ukraine. Stare at the animals. Yes, definitely. Stare at goats. Do we have a licence for that? Oh, you look beautiful. Do I really? Do I look beautiful? Oh, look at this. How about that then? Oh, there you go. Is that a coat and a half? I collect DVDs, always have. We do as well. We've got shitloads of DVDs, Blu-rays and that as well. You could be in a situation we'd be thankful for. So many people get rid of all that stuff, physical media, and you might end up in a situation where you'd be, wish I had that now. Yeah, Elon has proved he will weaponize technology. He does. There's these new drones in Russia that, can't remember what they're called now. There's new drones in Russia that are actually being controlled via the Starlink connections. So why have they got a connection in the first place? Yeah, the space junk will affect the satellites, yeah. That's buggering up astronomy, I don't much. All these bloody stupid little satellites everywhere. And they're in, the other thing what I remember about these low orbit satellites, a low orbit is an ever decreasing orbit. They eventually fall to Earth. Anything from 5 to 10 years and they fall to Earth. So all those little satellites up there that Elon Musk keeps chucking up there are likely to end up in as, smoke. Burn it up. There we go. I think physical media is going to make a comeback because of AI and all the bullshit with Musk. Yeah, definitely. I can see that. I can see it becoming... People are going to all the car boots now and getting all their DVDs and shit because they can't rely on anything else. Connection. See, the first thing we'll find, if there is a war situation, we'll find internet being squeezed. We'll find GPS being squeezed. All of a sudden, our military accuracy that was switched over by the United States will all of a sudden be accessed by US military. So I could say pretty rapidly that is going to be squeezed. The internet is going to definitely be squeezed. And our connections will be too slow for a lot of the stuff that we are used to. A lot of businesses will fail because all of a sudden they won't have internet. All this online, that, it will go to pot. So maybe we should be a little bit less, a little bit more self-reliant. That's just how I see it, you know. Do I have a license for that? Do I want my hat? You didn't know robins were in Europe? Yeah, the robins in Europe. We have lots of robins in the UK and here in France as well. They're very European, yeah. I imagine a lot of the birds that we get, you get, I imagine. But you also get a lot more exotics as well, I imagine, as well. Much better than this stupid stay there. We're not in the Arctic. In fact, it's getting a bit warm though. And he looks very ice station zebra. It was a bit like that this morning. That was really cold when we first got up. I went to bed really early last night. I went to bed at by 9:30. I ain't done that for years. And I woke up about 2 o'clock in the morning, got up for a bit, woke Caroline up accidentally, got up for a bit, and then, well, I had a Gaviscon, and that got a bit tummy upset, and then went back to bed again, had a week, went back to bed again, and I did get up until about 8:30, so I had, I don't know, about 9.5 hours sleep, I suppose. So I hadn't done that for a long time. Yeah, so far it has some weird critters. I can imagine. You also got a lot of MAGA. I learned how to live off the land when I was a child. Just like most of my friends will be fine. Good. Just live off the land. That's what you've got to do, Have an understanding about what's out there, what you can and cannot eat. What's important. In the day, in the film Martian, he managed to grow potatoes in human shit. On Mars. He was a botanist, though. He was a botanist. He's dressed like he belongs in the Arctic. I'm getting a bit warm now. That was very cold earlier. Jet black. Yeah, I've had that one before. Anyway, I don't want to leave, but my battery's about to go. Yeah, it's about to go. But I'd like to thank everyone who's joined me this morning, and thanks a lot for the super chats there, my friend. Stop the grade. Really appreciate that, my friend. It does keep the channel going, and it just helps. I do appreciate it. But yeah, thanks a lot for joining us here today. Thanks for that, Rebecca. Yeah, take care, everybody. So I better get back to the missus. She thinks I'm ignoring her. We're going to be going to a little place called San Estef today. It's about an hour away. It's another lake. We stayed there before, and it's pretty cool. There's to get around the walk. As a part of the walk, it's like a ferry, and you have to turn this big wheel to take the ferry across. We'll I'll make sure I make a video of that. Anyway, it's time for me to go. I ain't got to say goodbye, but thanks a lot, everybody. So yeah, I'll say hi to Caroline at Will Chrome Dome, and you take care, my friend. Look after yourself. Something that goes to everybody that's here. So yeah. Anyway, I'll keep talking. I will, but my battery's literally about to die. Toodaloo. Anyway, one last look at the nice. There you go. Yeah, nice. See the sun's coming up, and the mist is gone. It's changing. There's a beach over there. I got this place to be heaving in the summer. There'll be loads of people there. There's a lot of holiday places there, you see. So. Take care, my friends.